Welcome everybody to this year's Christmas special. I just wanted to make this quick video to say, of course, Merry Christmas to you all. I hope you're having wonderful holidays, with or without your loved ones. Well, depending on how you like it. And I hope you're also having relaxing holidays. It's one of the things that get worse the older you get, because at some point you will probably have a significant other, and that's the time when Christmas stops being relaxing, because especially in the first year or years you will still be kind of stuck in your respective own Christmas traditions, which means you will spend Christmas at your own family, and then the next day you're supposed to come over to his or her family, and so there's also this possible room for arguing, because you have to figure out who will be joining whose family, because the families won't probably meet, or sometimes you don't want them to meet, sometimes they just don't want to, or they have other plans as well, like meeting more distant relatives and all that stuff. So yeah, Christmas stops being relaxing, and things can get increasingly complex from there. Like if you have third grade relatives that will also come over and that also want to see you, you'll have to sort it out, and it's basically, yeah, Christmas is a very busy time. And out of I think we have about 1 or 2 weeks off of university, and I'll still be busy like all the time. It's gonna be horrible. Anyway, just taking this time to say Merry Christmas to you all. I also wanted to say thank you for 2015. It's been amazing. We have reached 55 subscribers, and that has been amazing. Like, I've never expected to be getting past like 10, maybe, if I'm lucky. And now at 55, which is still nothing for YouTube dimensions, but I love it. And also thank you for all the comments, for the subscriptions, obviously, for the likes, and just for watching my videos and enjoying them, which I hope you do. Speaking of that, according to the analytics thing, people have spent 10,000 minutes over the last 28 days watching my videos, which basically translates to I think one of the last 4 weeks watching non-stop. I mean, I'm sure none of you has actually done that, but it's been kind of fun to see, and I like it. I mean, it's been impressive when I did the math. Actually did that back in, I think, October, when I was close to that, but it dropped down again, and now we have it 11,000, so thank you for that. And I hope we can keep going in 2016. I'm looking forward to it. I have had a lot of fun during the GOG and Steam sales. A lot of great games on sale. You should probably check them out if you still have disposable income to dispose of. Especially GOG has been a great time there. Some of that stuff might make its way onto the channel, others might not. And we'll see next year. This game is something I bought, I think, last year, and I mostly picked for now for the fireplace backdrop. This is not going to turn into a fully fledged Let's Play. As I said, I just wanted to have this fireplace thing in the background, because I like the visuals. Little Inferno is one of those games that have people kind of arguing. Some people say it's a brilliant metaphor for modern society. You just buy things and you burn them, and you buy more things and you burn those again, and it just goes on. There is actually an underlying story which is kind of brilliant, or kind of interesting, but I won't spoil that, which is why I'm doing very little burning of stuff here. Yeah, others say it's just a rubbish game with where all you can do is set things on fire and nothing else, which again might be a metaphor for society. Anyway, I've picked this, and I also decided to do something, a German tradition. I wanted to share a German tradition with you. The so-called Lichteln, which translates to lighting, I guess. It's hard to translate traditions. Anyway, what you do is you would just sit around and have candlelight up. That's actually quite important. That's the light bit. And optionally to have some baked goods, maybe some cake or some Christmas cookies or that kind of thing. Maybe share a pot of hot cocoa or coffee if you're adult, and and just sit together and enjoy the time with your family. When I was a child, I loved that, mostly because I loved cookies, I loved playing with fire, and that was basically one of the few times when I could do this over the year. Well, it was actually playing with fire, but it was lighting candles, and something about that fascinated me. It also had, and there's a whole lot of Christmas-related woodwork, which also sometimes has candles built in, not built in, but one of the things that have always fascinated me most about Christmas stuff was the so-called Christmas pyramids, which is something that has been, I think it could have been invented in Germany. I'm not sure on that. Don't quote me on that. It's basically a pyramid with a loose axis in the middle that has little winglets around the circumference on top, and candles are placed below that on the bottom in a safe distance so you don't burn the whole thing. And the rising heat would basically make it spin. So you put some figures in the middle, and they would move around, and it would be interesting. To me as a child, it was a damn interesting thing, and just fascinating how this would work and how people would have come up with that. Actually, still not sure how people came up with that. And one of the things that I wanted to share with you today was the Advent wreath. Now, we can't do that properly. I wouldn't do that properly, actually. What you basically have was 4 candles, which would stand like that. Now, of course, obviously, they would stand in a wreath, so they would stand in a circle, or it would be arranged around a circle. Usually a wreath out of some needle trees. And actually, we'll have that one topple over. You'd not do that in a actual Christmas thing. And those candles would be of different sizes. Like the first one would be pretty big, the next one would be slightly smaller, and slightly smaller again, and the fourth one would be the smallest. And that's because you would light them on different times. The first one would be lit on the Sunday 4 weeks before Christmas, then 3 weeks, 2 weeks, and 1 week before Christmas. Or if Christmas is actually on a Sunday, this fourth one would be lit on Christmas. Just as a side note, I have seen other traditions as well. The family of my ex-girlfriend, for example, had a so-called Advent candle, which would be one candle with 24 marks, because Christmas is celebrated on 24th here. So you'd let it burn down like one of those marks every day. Or if you forgot it about for a few days, you would just let it burn a slightly longer and get down to the actual day again. And that's something I wasn't aware of. Anyway, let's just light something on fire here. There we go. Do some burning. I think that won't burn on its own here, so we'll help it a bit. There we go. Now it's burning. And there we go. There's your Christmas special, a bit of tradition. Also, you would add some cheesy Christmas music. funny story about my hometown was we had a local choir. And because it wasn't a very big town, everybody was kind of related or kind of knew someone who was also part of that choir. And that means you were socially obliged to buy the bloody CD. And I know my aunt was in that choir back then. She actually had a small solo on that, so a vocal solo. And of course, as a child, I was totally proud of that. Like, oh, my aunt is on that CD and she has a solo. My grandfather also was in that choir back when he was alive. He was a great singer. Anyway, we had that, and it would of course be put up on every Christmas, every time we would sit together. You would basically have that CD running. So, yeah, with all the songs you loved and all the songs you learned to hate, and it was weird. But yeah, that's the story I wanted to share with you. A bit of my childhood. I'm not the ghost of Christmas past, so I can't actually show it to you. But yeah, that's your Christmas special. Now, I'll probably go to bed soon because I will have to dress up as Santa tomorrow, and I'll have a hell of a night, or of an afternoon, because that's when all the people want to be visited. I'll probably talk about that in one of the next videos. I'll have to record a bit for the next few days, so I'll probably move it to there. Feel free to leave your favorite or just your Christmas traditions in the comments. Not the actual traditions, but feel free to talk about them in the comments, and I look forward to reading them. Hopefully, yeah, maybe there's something new. I always like learning about how things are done in different countries. If you have questions about things, before you ask, no, I haven't burned down any houses that way. But yeah, if you have questions about Christmas in Germany, or about my view on Christmas or whatever, or if you just want to share your views or just share your tradition or what do you do for Christmas, I'm always up for comments. So leave them in the comments, and I will happily read them. I really read all the comments. That's one thing that's actually good about not having too many subscribers or too many views. I can still keep track of all the comments, and that's something I would probably miss dearly if I ever went to become a very, very big channel. Anyway, again, Merry Christmas to you all, Happy Holidays, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!